Friend number 3 makes an appearance. Now, he made an appearance earlier on, like the other friends, and didn't say a word, but now he has ready to start speaking, start talking. And I apologize. I thought I had my thing open, but I must have sealed it. So, chapter 11 of the book of Iyov, as I scroll to open it. So, here we are. Vayan Sofar Hanamati Vayomar. So then Sofar, the Na'amati from Na'amat, said in reply, right? Iyov has just said, God, you should leave me alone. Don't be so close to me. You're right to leave me alone. Things will be better for me. Against the classical idea of Hester Panim, when God is far away, that we are less protected. We said yesterday, Iyov's not necessarily a Jew, so it's not necessarily within that Jewish theology of Deuteronomy, but just that general idea. And what does Sofar say? Harov dvarim lo yeyaneh v'im ish svatayim yitzdak. Is when you say many words, are they unanswerable? Is a person who is a man of many words, who is loquacious. It's funny when you can't pronounce the word loquacious. A person who is loquacious must be right. You have a lot of things that you're saying. Badecha mitim yacharishu vatilag v'ein machlin. You speak, right? Your babbling can silence people. You may mock without being rebuked, right? People speak a lot. Sometimes nobody else gets in a word edgewise, and that's who you are right now, Iyov. Vatomer zach l'kri uvar hayiti ve'enecha, and say, my ideas are pure, my ideas are correct, they're zach, and I have been innocent in your sight. That's what you say to God. V'ula mi yitain Eloha daber v'yiftach svatav imach. But if God might speak and talk to you himself, what would God tell you? The secrets of wisdom. What would God tell you? That there are many sides to wisdom. And you know that God has overlooked for you some of your iniquity, right? You think that God is punishing you too much. God is probably punishing you less than you deserve, is what he's saying. You think you know the mysteries of the world. You think that you know everything better than everybody else. That's just not the case. According to what Sofar saying here. Sofar is being very sarcastic, it seems, at least the way that I understand it, to Iyov. He continues. Look at verse 7. Would you discover the mystery of God? Did you discover the limits of the Almighty? Give hey shamayim matifal amuka mishol mateda. Are you higher than the heaven? Are you deeper than Shaol, the netherworld? Iyov, are you something that we don't know you are? That you know the mysteries of God, you know the ways of God, you know what's up in the heavens, you know what's down in the dungeon, in the hell, in the netherworld. You understand the way it works. You understand everything. You're saying that God is wrong, and if you just had the opportunity to talk to God, you would prove God wrong. That you have the knowledge of everything. Continuing verse 9 continues. Aruka meretz midah urechava miniyam. Its measure is longer than the earth and broader than the sea, right? The entirety of the universe, the knowledge of the universe is greater than all of this, all of the wisdom and all of the understanding of what the world and the way the world operates. Should God pass by, or should God confine himself up? Right? If God will call everything, God does. Can anybody stop him? God is beyond. Kihu yada mitei shav vayar aved velo yitban. He knows when people are shav, are deceitful, are liars. Right? When God sees aved, when he sees iniquity, when he sees sin, does he not discern it? You're saying, God, you got it wrong. Or you're saying, God, you come close and you destroy rather than you reward. And right? That's what Iyov has claimed. Leave me alone, God. Leave me alone. Let me live in Hawaii, far away from the bad neighbors. Let me be by myself. That's Sofar says, you think that you have all this knowledge. The ish navuv yilavev, the ayer pera adam yivaled. A hollow man will get understanding, while a wild donkey is born a man. What he seems to be saying here by calling, first, para adam is a word that's used for Yishmael. Ishmael is described as being a para Adam. He's wild. He's a donkey. He's untrained. And seemingly what he's saying by calling him a para Adam is that man needs to be trained. Man needs to, the way you train an animal, and there's a zapper, so your dog doesn't go there, that the dog understands, gets zapped. You need that, Iyov. You need training. You are a para Adam. You're like a wild donkey. You need discipline. You need guidance, right? And so, right, this suffering in a classical way, somebody suffers. We talked about this early on in the book. You should look internally and you should figure out what you've done wrong. And then Gemara says you should look into your actions and understand why you have Yisurin, why bad things are happening, and you should improve yourself. And that's what you're not doing, Iyov. You think that you know everything. You think that you know better than God. You're just a para Adam. You're just think that you're beyond and you know everything that people that people don't. That you think that you have more and you know more, but you're just a hollow man. Continuing verse 13, but if you think, if you direct your mind and you spread your hands towards God, if there's iniquity with you, remove it. Right? He's saying the stain is you, Iyov. Your clothing is stained. You're stained. You have that sin. Don't say what's inside of you is just the arrows of God and all the punishment is inside of you and it's for no reason and it's out of sorts and it's not right. There must be. You have to have iniquity with you. Remove it. Don't let Avla, don't let sin, don't let injustice reside in your tent. There must be a sin. You must have done something wrong. Ki az tisa panech, we're in verse 15, mimum v'hayita mutzak v'lo tira. What's going to happen then? You take your clothing, you put on the stain wipes, you put on this, you put it in the washing machine, you clean it, right? You're free of blemish. Then you can hold your head high. Then you can have that pride. Then you can be unafraid when you're in a place of difficulty, when you're in the straits, when you're in mutzak. Amal tishkach kemayim avru tizkor. You will then be put out of your misery. Your misery will not be in your mind anymore. It will be like water that has flowed past. Water runs, and you're saying that the arrows of God, you said earlier, are in you, and the boils are everywhere, and God's punishment is inside you. It will be like water. It will flow away. And continuing in verse 17, life will be brighter than noon. You will shine. You will be like the morning. Okay, your things will be bright. Things will look up. Things will look good for you. You will be secure because you will have hope. And entrenched, you will rest secure now that you have a foundation, now that you are entrenched in this knowledge that you have gotten rid of the sin and you are back in God's good graces and doing the right thing. You'll lie down with no worries. And the great will court your favor. You will once again be a person that people, you won't be out here on this dung heap. You won't be full of boils. No longer this person of great success, of great wealth, of great honor in the city. Once again, you will be restored to that. But in the eyes of the wicked will pine away. Escape is cut off from them. They have only their last breath to look forward to, right? So that's, if you stay who you are, that's where you're going to be. You're not going to turn away from your troubles. Your eyes will be closed. There'll be no hope for you. You'll have nothing to look forward to. If you return to God, then you will have all of these things to return to. And so far here is using, beautiful language and saying you are limited in what you know and you think you know everything, but that's not the case. You're not down in the depths and you're not up in the heavens. And you think that you have this knowledge of everything, Iyov, and you think that you know the way that things are supposed to happen, but that's just not the case. That's not the way that it is. And here he's very seemingly sarcastic to Iyov, I think. He thinks that he's telling Iyov that Iyov has to get off his high horse. If you return to God, if you go away, then you will once again be in good graces. And that's, again, it's hard as the reader. You read the words of sofar hana amatit, sofar like a tzipor, you could say like a bird, and say fly around, and maybe you'll see more, you'll see things differently from then the way that you see in the bird's eye view. But we of course know that Iyov is telling the truth. We know that Iyov didn't do anything wrong. We know that Iyov is a person of yirat shamayim, the fear of heaven, and a person of kindness and goodness and decency. And he just doesn't fit in with his truthful speaking. He doesn't fit in with the idea that the world is unjust, with the religious understanding that his friends have. And so we had friend number one, Eliphaz, tried to convince him to do some tshuva and look inward. We had friend number two, who went even further than that, Bildad, but in the same way. And here we have friend number three, who even starts to, I see it as a little bit more sarcastic. You think you know everything. You think you're such a hotshot. You think you have the heavens, the earth, the world, the chachma, the wisdom, the understanding is well beyond who you are and what you can be. And it's time for you to own up to that. And when you own up to that, everything will be fine. Which last time I checked, at least in today's day and age, is not the message to somebody who is suffering and somebody who feels that they're in a bad place. You can try to encourage them to get up. It's hard. What you're going through is hard, and maybe it's not right. But the only thing that you can do about it is you do something about it, is you stand up, as you work harder, as you figure out how to do things. You can have friends, they'll help you, will guide you, will help you, but not, this is you did things wrong and you are bad and you are incorrect. And his words are very, very harsh, very, very sarcastic. And once again, words that Iyov is not going to agree with, and we as the reader know, are just factually incorrect based upon the book and based upon the way Iyov is introduced to us as being this wonderful person, God's greatest on the earth, as God describes in the opening verses of the